coordinator for regional coordinator for the NourishNext West Africa, working with Gain. So I really, on behalf of Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition, Gain, and our program partners, I'm pleased to welcome all of you, young innovators, entrepreneurs, food system actors, for joining us today from across all Nigeria. Thank you for making time for this. Thank you so much, guys. NourishNext is built around a simple but important ambition, which is to identify and support youth-led innovations that can strengthen fruits and vegetable value chains across Nigeria so that we can improve access to nutritious diets across West Africa. But also it recognizes that young people are not only beneficiaries of food system transformations, they're already designing businesses, technologies, and community solutions that can drive that transformation. Nigeria is particularly important to this ambition. The country has enormous agricultural potential and a large and energetic youth population and strong entrepreneurial capacity. Yet fruits and vegetables are still lost between farms and markets. Here we're speaking about post-harvest loss and also available or affordable where they are needed. So we might be having a lot of harvest, but there are difficulties in making sure that the right customers are reached to these products. So these nutrition challenges that are being facing Nigeria, but also economic opportunities to most of us as youth for better processing, storage aggregation, distribution, marketing, and consumer engagement can reduce loss. We can also create jobs for our fellow youths. We can also strengthen enterprises and help nutritious foods reach more people in Nigeria and across West Africa at large. Through this challenge, we want to find practical innovations that are already moving beyond the idea stage. This means we might be having startups or innovators that are already serving some few or many customers, but also and have the potential to deliver meaningful nutrition and market impact as well. Selected innovators will have access to mentorship, capacity building support, visibility, and the opportunity to compete for seed fund support and regional recognition. We'll get into more details when the speakers start speaking on every angle of it. Today's session is therefore designed to be practical. We will explain what the challenge is looking for, who are the applicants, who can apply, the priority innovation areas, how applications will be assessed, and how the applicants should prepare for submitting the applications. I encourage everyone to listen carefully, and if you have your notebook or a paper and a pen, please take and note every kind of question that we'll be having so that you can ask those questions when we allow for questions and answers. Take note of the guidance and use the question and answer session to clarify anything that may affect your applications. The application deadline is on 8th of September, and so there is still time to strengthen your submission. But please do not wait until the final day. You can submit it today after the session, tomorrow early in the morning, anytime. And make sure that if you have any difficulties, we provide our information so that you can reach out to us so that we can help in any way. Thank you once again for joining us, and thank you, our partners, colleagues supporting Nourish Next West Africa across the region and also in Nigeria. I will now hand back to our moderator. Also, we will be having different topics to cover, and by saying that, let me welcome Thomasin for introducing yourself. Then after we'll go to the agenda. So we can introduce ourselves as speakers, then I'll pick someone who is next for the agenda. Let the audience know you first. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Elisha. And thank you again, everyone, for joining this information session. My name is Tomisin Odumbaku. I am the country coordinator for the NourishNext Innovation Challenge in Nigeria. I'm working together with my colleagues here to identify those innovations that will help transform the fruits and vegetable value chain in Nigeria. Back to you.
Welcome, Michael. Just the introduction. Michael, is Michael there? Michael Inedu. If you're speaking, we're not hearing you. Debjani, you can come first.
Yeah, Michael might be, he's also.
Can you hear me now?
He's here. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Inedu, Program Quality Specialist. I work with again today. I work in the Nigerian Country Office. Thanks. Over to you, Elisha.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, Debjani.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm Debjani. I'm the Global Project Manager for Nutrition Connect and Knowledge Management at GAIN.
Thank you so much. Now, those are the speakers that we'll be having today. And now I would love to welcome Debjani to also welcome the participants and also give the program background and the importance of the challenge for the Nigeria context as well. Welcome,
Thank you very
Debjani.
much. Thank you. Thank you. It's really heartening to see many of you so very interested, and we've been getting some great response from Nigeria for this innovation challenge. It just speaks volumes about the innovation quotient and the spirit with the youth and women in Nigeria. Indeed, the NourishNext West Africa 2026, it's a youth agri-food innovation challenge focused on youth and also especially women. It's catering to 4 countries, like Alicia mentioned, for Nigeria, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, and Senegal. We are most thankful for the supporters of this innovation challenge also, in particular our partners, along with Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition, indeed, that is leading the implementation of this with the partner Scaling Up Nutrition, SUN movement. And indeed, under the support of the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, SDC, and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. So we're most thankful to them. I just want to quickly outline the objectives. A little bit, Alicia already touched. We're trying to identify youth-led, women-led innovations that are at an operational stage, that are not just at idea stage, but have moved beyond, and that are able to bring a difference in improving access or affordability or demand for fruits and vegetables. All that also while creating better economic opportunity for young people and women. And the context of this, especially for the country in Nigeria, cannot be overstated enough. Nigeria is one of the more populous countries indeed in Africa. And a mainstay is agriculture, and agriculture provides a lot of livelihoods. More than 1/3 of its workforce depends on agriculture and allied sectors. And not just that, but it's an enormous production potential. However, there is persisting food insecurity, malnutrition, and gaps that need to be covered for nutritious diets and diverse diets. Fruits and vegetables within that scope of gap are particularly of importance for this innovation challenge. So this innovation challenge caters to fruits and vegetables value chain. And how we arrived at that was indeed with multiple consultation with diverse stakeholders, ideating and identifying that fruits and vegetable value chain within Nigeria, and especially within the ECOWAS countries, require special attention because of the nutritive value that they can bring, not just that, but also to the economic potential that they hold for the region. Whether you are an aggregator, whether you're a retailer, researcher, policymaker, whether you are a chef, whether you're a small and medium enterprise, a micro enterprise, there is tremendous potential. And so we're trying to look for these solutions across by way of the mode of applications, an application window that remains open. The legacy of this comes from earlier innovation challenges that we have established and succeeded. Definitely in Nigeria. Last year, in 2025, we very successfully, thanks to all of you, were able to complete the Fortify Forward Innovation Challenge. And that was happening in 8 countries in Africa, both in West Africa and East Africa. And we had a phenomenal number of applications coming from those. And we had 12 winners selected that went on for seed money and mentorship. And before that, in 2024, we had the Dietary Shifts Innovation Challenge, which was held in Kenya and Indonesia. So we come from a legacy of innovation challenges devised as a means of identifying innovations that young people are working on, women are working on, to be able to find solutions to market, processing, behavior change, basically better ways of connecting markets and consumers and processors. So with that, I will be looking forward to the rest of the notes that my colleagues bring forth. And I wish you all the best for the application window that stays open. Over to you, Alicia. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dipian. Thank you. I appreciate. Now we'll be moving forward to our beloved brother, Michael Inedu, who is the Gains Nigeria program quality specialist, and he'll be giving us details on to the country context, Nigeria country context, on fruit and veg, but also we're going to get more details on how youth can be involved in this. You're welcome, brother.
Thank you so much, Elisha.
Thank you.
Good afternoon again, everyone. Let me briefly set a Nigerian context for why this challenge is timely and important. So Nigeria produces a wide range of fruit and vegetable and has a growing community of young agri-food entrepreneurs. However, our potential is not yet translating constantly into nutritious foods that are available, affordable, and desirable for consumers throughout the year. The challenge begins with availability. So we know large quantities of produce are lost because of gaps in harvesting, handling, storage, aggregation, cold chain system, processing, and transportation. In many locations, farmers and small businesses also struggle to connect reliably with markets that can absorb their products. The second issue is affordability. When value chains are fragmented and losses are high, costs increase for both businesses and consumers, right? Some fluctuations and weak distribution systems can make fruit and vegetable expensive or difficult to find, particularly for lower income households. The third issue is desirability and consumption. Availability alone does not guarantee that people will buy and eat nutritious foods. Consumers also respond to convenience, quality, safety, taste, packaging. Information on how products are also presented. This creates space for innovations in marketing, product development, and healthy diet behavior change. For Nigeria, the strongest innovation will be those that respond to clearly understood local problems. But before that, let's talk about desirability and consumption. These gaps point to 4 broad opportunity areas, the gaps that I've mentioned earlier. You can think of it from the direction of value addition and processing, market and supply chain, public nutrition and social protection system, and solutions that strengthen consumer demand for healthy diets. Like I mentioned, the strongest innovation will be those that respond to clearly understood local problem. Just for emphasis, they should identify the people or businesses affected, demonstrate what has already been tested, and show a realistic pathway for delivering nutrition impacts while remaining operationally and commercially viable. This is why the challenge is focused on solutions that are moving beyond a concept. We want to see practical evidence, a prototype, pilot activities, early users, customers, partnerships, sales, or another credible indication that the innovation can work and grow. The opportunity is significant. If we can reduce losses, improve distribution, create better products, and make healthy choices easier for consumers, we can strengthen livelihood and businesses while improving nutrition outcomes. With that context, I will hand back to Elisha, who will invite Thomasin to take us through the challenge objectives, eligibility requirements, priority areas, judging criteria, timeline and application process. Thank you so much, everyone. Over to you, Elisha.
Thank you. I will also remind the participants, write down your questions on the charts, or if you'll be wishing to ask later on Q&A, we'll be allowing any question that you have to make sure that your application is successfully submitted. Now I welcome Thomasin for the presentation. You're welcome. You're on mute, Thomasin. Thomasin,
Can you hear me now, Elijah?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Elisha, Debjani, and Michael for setting the context. You really made my work easier. So I'm just going to jump straight to my presentation and hopefully cover it in the time left, and we can take as much questions as possible from the people, participants here. So I'm sharing my screen. Just give me a few seconds. Elisha, can you confirm my screen is up?
Yeah, we can see.
Thank you very much. So this is the NourishNext West Africa Youth-Led Innovation Challenge. And this is the information session. The application itself was launched sometime in July and has been ongoing. We have received a couple of applications, but we feel that Nigeria is a big country, and we know that there might be some innovations out there that we are yet to identify. And so we are organizing this information session to identify or to pull some of these entrepreneurs, researchers in. So we also record their innovations as well. And if you also have questions, this will be the opportunity for you to ask us, myself and my colleagues on this call. You've heard a lot about what the challenge is, why fruits and vegetables, but at the end of this presentation, you should know exactly what you want to submit. Like I said, the challenge that you'll be addressing, value chain that we're interested in, how you're fit, what is the criteria that makes you eligible, and how do you fall into the 4 categories that we are watching out for. What makes a strong application, the problems, the solutions, the evidence, the impact that you are showcasing, as well as the assessment. So when you pitch to our judges, the panel of judges, what are they going to be watching out for? What are the major indicators that will fit into the requirements of this competition. Then how will this process go? The entire process from after application, and then when you're selected, what happens next? How long will it take? And all of those questions. And in case we miss any of the things that you have in mind, please feel free to ask us at the end of the day. I'm just going to move on now. So, what is the opportunity that we are trying to capture here? Food is very important. If any of us have not eaten today, it's probably because you've been busy or maybe finances are not allowed, but eventually you will definitely eat. And food is not just important, good food is important. Unfortunately, not a lot of people have access to good food. And sometimes it's not even because they don't have the money to afford it. It's just because it is not available. So in this case, we are talking about fruits and vegetables. There are some fruits and vegetables that I've not seen in a while, and not because they are not produced, but because of the major issues that has been emanating, climate and all of that. So we are looking for innovations that will make fruits and vegetables more available. And then in terms of affordability, we know all of the drivers that drive costs of production of fruits and vegetables, as well as other food in our food system. And if we think about the reasons for these cost drivers, it sometimes looks impossible to be able to solve them because we know a number of it has to do with infrastructural deficiencies that is most likely the responsibility of the government. But because we are not able to deal with this, some of these problems at scale, we need to be innovative around how we go about producing such that the products we produce become more affordable. Desirability is also important because when we innovate and there is nobody that wants to have it, then the innovation becomes a waste. So we want people to desire whatever has been developed to become affordable, such that when it is desirable, then they consume it. So this is the opportunity that the innovation is trying to capture, and we are hoping to get a number of applications from Nigeria. So who fits into the application? Who are we looking at? What's the target? If you are Nigerian, definitely, but that's because this aspect of the competition is focused on Nigeria. The competition itself is focused on West Africa, and we have 4 countries in West Africa that will be competing, that will be participating. That's Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, and Senegal. I am managing Nigeria, and this is the information session for Nigeria. So if you're a Nigerian and you are between the age of 18 to 35 as a man or a male figure, then yes, you're qualified. That's the first thing. But for women, then that age extends up to 40. So that is 18 to 40 for women or for female. Then secondly, the value chain of interest is fruits and vegetables. So if you have that innovation that improves fruits and vegetables, that improves nutrition access around this value chain, that improves the consumer demand for fruits and vegetables, we are looking for you. And then your idea must have gone beyond the idea stage. My colleagues have mentioned this before, but I'm re-emphasizing it because we want to be able to prove that this is something already marketable. This is something that's already scalable. This is something that that has proof of concern to achieve a huge result of reducing the rate of malnutrition in West Africa. It is important that we go through this process. Then local viability is important. It is important that we establish solutions that is context is obtainable in Nigeria. So if we have an innovation that is most likely designed for a market outside of Nigeria, that may not qualify. So your idea must really fit into your local context and that would also improve your score in terms of viability and visibility. Then, even if you do not have the proper formal registration, but as long as your product is ready made and is about to hit the market, or you have a prototype, then the criteria, and then the categories is next. So what are the categories that we are looking for this innovation? First of all, your innovation can fall within the value addition and processing category. So if you have an innovation that is around preserving or extending the shelf life of fruits and vegetables, it could be that you have an innovative package that reduces the cost of production or the cost of that particular product, such that we are able to do what we call cross subsidization, where you have specific products for high-end consumers or high-end customers, and then you have a smaller package for low-income consumers. These are some of the innovations that we want to identify. Then in terms of products that you develop, how innovative are they? And what are how much of these products are already in the market? And then how is this your process reducing loss, or how is it increasing value for the value chain of interest? And also because of, the post-harvest loss problem, we have talked about markets and supply chains. So we want innovations that probably is around storage. If we have cold logistics that is around storing, that is improving how veggies or fruits and vegetables from farms are preserved and stored, such that their post-harvest losses is reduced. Or it could be around aggregation. You have an aggregation model that reduces the hassles for farmers to access markets, and also increases their livelihood, increases their income. These are some of the innovations we want to identify. Or is your innovation around linking these businesses, linking researchers, linking farmers to the market, or improving the safety of products that reaches the market? Or it is around being able to trace back particular batches of products back to where it came from? These are some of the opportunities that still exist in the food systems, in the Nigerian food system, and we are looking at innovations that can help us really pinpoint and identify them. And then public nutrition systems. So there are a number of procurement processes that the government also go through within the year. You might know of an external or like a foreign idea that is operational in another country, and you feel, okay, there's a context in Nigeria that could also work, and you have developed that research or that piece of work to put it together. We would like to see such suggestions as part of the innovations we're working on. Then lastly, consumer demand and healthy diets is the last one. We are looking at how digital technologies could help us improve consumer demand or improve consumer behavior, so that we are beginning to observe changes in how people demand for or consume fruits and vegetables in Nigeria. So your idea does not have to fit in all of the four categories. You just need to pick one and ensure that the problem your innovation primarily solves fits into at least one of these categories. So you don't have to, my innovation touches this one, touches all four of them, and then you list all four. But we just want to know which one really fits into either of these categories. Mindful of time now. So what would a strong application look like? First of all, we want to be able to tell the problem you are solving. You know exactly how how your innovation is solving a problem within the fruit and vegetable value chain. So we want you to be specific. in identifying that problem you're solving in the value chain or in the system. Secondly, the solution. So how does this innovation work? We need it to be clear, very clear statement of how your innovation works to solve the problem that you have stated. Then you should tell us exactly why it is different. And this is important. This particular part is important because there might be a number of innovation that looks like yours. But if you've done your homework well, then you should be able to tell us differently what your competitive advantage is. So if you are able to tell us that clearly and we see it in your application, this helps us, this helps your application, makes it stronger. We need evidence of market, how you've been able to actually show that this works. So we want to see the pilots if you are just hitting the market. So what was the result of the pilots that you did? Or if it is an already existing product or market or innovation, who are the users? How much sales have you made? What is your revenue at this point? Have you tested it? What is the result of the test? And the results could also be part of the evidence that you share. Or it could be that you already have a number of partners that is helping you advance this innovation, or you have credible records that would also help us convince the judges better to understand your innovation. That will be really helpful. Then impact. How does your product, how does your innovation move the nutrition outcome that we are trying to achieve? Because ultimately that is the major impact we are looking at. How does this translate to improve nutrition for Africans? How does this translate to improve nutrition for Nigerians? So we need to show clearly how your innovation drives the nutrition outcome. And lastly, is it scalable? Can your idea, can your innovation be easily replicated? Is it replicable in other localities in Nigeria? So show us who are the people that are already your clients and how are they supporting you. And then you can also tell us how much in terms of support that you are looking for to grow your idea, which also helps us have a good sense of contextuality in terms of the situation in the country, particularly around the economy. So if you are able to gauge what your ask is and what is doable within the country context, then this helps us judge clearly how scalable your idea is. Okay, so what are the things we're looking for? Like I mentioned, I'm just going to rush this now. Innovation is important. It has to clearly be different. And we are not asking you to do something out of Pluto. We're only asking you to be very specific in the difference in your idea, the difference in your innovation. What exactly, how is yours different from the next person? Yeah. Then feasibility. Can you really deliver what you said you will deliver within with the amount of resources available to you, and you're not projecting some future estimates in terms of what you are able to do? So how feasible is what you are trying to do? I just explained scalability. Can it grow? Can we replicate it within the local context? How relevant is it to the challenge theme, the 4 categories that we are talking about? How is it linked to those 4 categories? Then in terms of the nutrition impact, it is very important. Like I said, youth leadership, the leader of the innovation must be under that youth definition. So must fall within that age gap, 18 to 35 for male, 18 to 40 for female. So be specific. Please do not lie in your application, because at some point it will definitely be obvious when they start asking you questions around your innovation. So make it easy for us to review and understand all of the evidence that you share. There will be the ask of you updating some of your documents. Please, when you update your documents, when you upload your documents, make it accessible for everybody who has the links, because we need to see what you have uploaded. Yeah, so these are some of the evidences that we are looking for. So the personal details, proof of age and identity, could be your affidavit, could be your certificate. We just need to know that you fit in the age that we have talked about. We also need to clear around your innovation. So there's a question around you explaining what your innovation is, and then there's another one that asks you to really explain how your innovation targets the challenge and all of that. So we want to see clearly your problem, solution, and target user explanations. We want to see the evidence that your innovation is already operational and has gone through the different testing phase, and you have sales records and you have users or customers who use your products. Then if you are already registered, we want to see the registration evidence, like your CAC registration form and all the certificates and all that. Then we want to see your business model. How does this, how does your product work? How does your business work? How does the research or whatever you are submitting, what is the process of really accomplishing what it says it accomplishes? How does it make money, right? How do you get money from the idea? Then the pitch deck, which is the last part of the application, is whatever you have put in your application. Then we now ask you to use it to prepare a pitch deck, which will then be used to pitch to the panel of judges during the screening process. So these are the things that you would also need to prepare. What does the challenge look like? The application phase is ongoing right now. Started sometime in July, will last till September 8th. So the deadline for this application is 8 September. So please, if you are submitting, kindly submit before then. I've talked about the eligibility criteria. So we are going to be screening after this. So the screening is also ongoing right now. As you submit, we have a couple of technical team that is reviewing your process. And this team are the ones who will then shortlist for the panel of judges who will then review it for a second time. Then there will be a the technical assessment is what I've just talked about. Then there will be the first pitching after the applications that make it through the technical assessment phase have been selected. There will be a pitching to the jury, the panel of judges. Now the panel of judges will now select from that pool of application the number of businesses, 15 of them, that will go through the bootcamp and capacity development process. And second to the last process will be the national pitch day. So after 15 of the applications have gone through the bootcamp, the development process, then there will be the opportunity for these 10 businesses to pitch at the national competition in a selected location. Then lastly, among the 10 finalists, there will be 2 individuals who will then become the national winners that will progress to showcase their innovation at the Youth Olympic in Dakar, that's Senegal, sometime in October. So this is beyond the grant type of application. I know a number of people would be interested in the money, but beyond just the grant, the seed support that is part of this benefit for joining this, if you do go through the process and make it to the last round, we have mentorship because you will be paired with experts in the industry with experience that can guide you and strengthen the solution and the business model. Then the capacity building process will definitely help you see some of the gaps, some of the weaknesses in your current model, or just see how you can strengthen the innovation entirely. The seed support is a $5,000 grant, which is going to be given to 10 of the finalists that gets to the national pitch competition. Then hopefully we are able to get some other in-kind kind of support, possibly, and then that will be announced to all those who get to that phase. Then visibility beyond the competition is also definite because, I mean, the organizations supporting these are international organizations with very large access to different stakeholders that could help your innovations become more nationally recognized or even internationally recognized. So these are the opportunities that the participants tend to benefit from. The timelines we are working with, so I've talked about it before, it's still ongoing. The information is what we are having. The information session is what we're having right now. Deadline is September 8th. That's when everything closes. After that, we go through the screening and then the technical processes. These are some of the common mistakes that we have identified so far, and just so that you don't do the same thing, please avoid using the same context around the post-harvest losses. We know there's a lot of post-harvest losses, but I think there is a need to really know how that fits into your innovation, and don't just quote what AI channels are giving you. Try and use whatever template has been shared to develop your own context so that it doesn't look generic like every other applications that might come in. Then there are some claims that we want to avoid, things like saying, oh, this is the best, something around this innovation, or this is the first of its kind. If you do not have that kind of proof that will show that it is really the best or the first of its kind, then we do not want you to put such claims if it is not, if we cannot support it. If your solution is not clear and we are not able to understand what you are describing, it won't go far. If the evidence that you are uploading and we do not have access to them, or the link does not take us to where we're able to see what you have said you uploaded, this reduces the strength of your application. If all of your ideas does not show there is a clear path to the market, or there is no clear path to sustainability, it reduces the strength of your application. Incomplete fields or late submissions. There are things like simple as where is this business located in terms of states in Nigeria, and that is left blank. That is important so that we know how we plan for the businesses who will definitely go through this process. There are so many other things that could be missing, but I'm just using that as an example. Stronger approach would be to be precise in terms of location and other things that you have stated in your application. Use numbers to your strength. If you have your numbers clearly, your revenues and all that, it's good that you state them clearly in terms of how many people your business already have access to, how many customers your business already have access to. This gives us an idea in terms of the strength of your application, in terms of how solid your innovation is. Then explain to us in plain practical terms. Assume these are people who do not know what you're doing, and then use terminologies that will break it down clearly to each one of them. Yeah. So these are some of the things that you should pay attention to. So I think I've covered most of everything. Yeah. So hopefully this is clear, and we don't have any other question. But if you do have questions, this is where you can ask us. So thank you very much. We have a few more minutes to take questions and answer, but I'll pass the mic back to you now, Elisha. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tommy Sen. Now I would now welcome anyone with the question. I know Deb Johnny has been answering your questions on the chat, but you feel like you need some more details. You feel like your question is still not answered. Please raise up your hand so that we can hear you. Anyone with a question? Anyone?
Yes, Barbara.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So my question is, does the innovation have to be for profit intended, or what if it's for social impact and it's intended to build on the work to attract future funds for scale and sustainability?
I couldn't hear that very well. Could you hear that, Thomason? Or
I could only hear the earlier part asking if it is possible.
I said, does it have to be intended? What if it's for social impact and it's also intended to build on work to attract future grants for scale and sustainability?
I'm not sure I got all of that, Thomas, and did you get the rest of it? I got half of it.
Barbara, if you are in a position to write it on the text,
Yeah, that'd be
just
great.
write on the chat, yeah.
I did get half of it, Barbara. Like you're asking if it's for social impact, yeah? And that's totally fair and fine if it is indeed for social impact. However, the social impact must have been measurable for you when you were doing the said, you're doing you're rolling out your innovative idea, or product, or process, or whatever it is, or platform. It would have been measurable and you would have had success parameters. So what are those success parameters? And therefore, is there evidence that you can then present that it's not just at idea stage, that it is indeed achieving the social impact that it has set out to achieve? I got that bit. I don't know if I got the rest. Barbara's question. Does the innovation have to be for-profit intended? What if it's a social impact focused, intended to build on the work to attract future grants for scale and sustainability? It's an interesting question, Barbara, and I would love to see your innovation to be able to understand better on what you are pitching. But yes, to your simple answer to your question is yes, social impact focused. Yes, it is totally admissible in this innovation challenge. Like I said, however, the impact must have been evidence-based already, such that it is not at idea stage. It has moved beyond the idea stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Debjani. Barbara, are you satisfied with the question, with the answers that Debjani has provided?
Yes,
thank you. You're welcome. Don't forget to apply then. Any other participants with a question? Any question that you think, something that is unclear to you?
I mean, you may or may not have a question, you may have an opinion. If you have observed something that is also of similar concern in the fruit and vegetable value chain and you would like to share, we'd love to hear from you as well. So it's not just questions or, I think we are all common concern of so much more can be done. Yes, African farmer Mogaji, that's your name.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon. So I just want to ask, because the scope is a bit narrow, very, very narrow, which is very uncommon, also innovative from Games' perspective. It's also innovative and needed. What do you do if you don't get enough applications? Because that's a reality also. What do you do? Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm guessing at least your name is Mogaji. Yeah.
African farmer Mogaji.
African farmer,
African farmer Mogaji. Okay. Thanks for your question. But yes, you are right. It is a bit of a narrow scope. But like I mentioned, that some of the previous innovation challenges that we have done have been expansive in their scope, and it tends to, if I may say, it's good, but at the same time, it also spreads the attention to a vast area of the value chain. And so with respect to the priority areas of work of the organization for GAIN, for Global Alliance, and also for the partners, SUN, and the supporters, ECOWAS and SDC. For this particular area emerged as one of the highest points of concern, something that needs to be tackled in the in the medium to long term. And so it was decided that this focus of the innovation challenge is warranted. We stay positive in terms of the number of applications, and Nigeria especially is the hub of innovation, is what is our observation so far, having worked with our teams there. And we are anticipating a large number of people to be able to apply because this is not just about the fruit or about the vegetable. It is about anyone and everyone who is involved in the value chain that supports a fruit, a nutritious fruit reaching me as a consumer or my community. And even it's also about the consumer. And is there a better campaign that can, convert me as a community to eat a higher proportion on my plate of food, of fruits and vegetables? And so it's about everyone. So it may seem as if it is a narrow scope, but if I just open up the entire value chain to anyone and everyone who is working in that space, it seems indeed expensive. And so we are really hopeful for a large number of applications of people who are concerned and bothered and working in that space. I hope you're able to spread the word, Mugaji.
And maybe just to say a few things to that. Yes, scope is a bit narrow, like before. But again, remember that beyond enterprises this time, we are also seeking applications from institutions like civil society, academia, universities, innovation hubs, or researchers. So it goes beyond just entrepreneurs this time. So we are accepting this innovation as long as they have gone through the testing, piloting, or beyond that immediate idea stage. So this we hope would definitely increase the number of applications, and to be honest, we've been seeing a huge turnout to some extent. Yeah. So thank you, African Farmer. Do we have other questions, Elisha? We have 5 more minutes.
No, we don't have anyone else.
Good afternoon.
Raida Hamza. Yep.
Good afternoon. My name is Raida, and I'm in Kebbi State. The question I have is, does SBN help in product enhancement or stability?
SBN.
Yeah, that's what she said. SBN.
Okay. Thomas, is that your question?
Well, I can answer it. If you're asking if SBN supports with product
enhancement
or stability. What I mean by that is the value added product that I have now is mixed veggies, and we freeze it and then sell it out. But now I've been trying to see how I can go into drying to make it more stable, so we can have it if anything happens to power supply and things like that, if we can have it for a long time. And I've been trying to reach out to people in the food space and researchers to see how they can help with that, but I've not been able to get anyone that would help me in a way that would be very beneficial to me in that aspect. So that's what I'm asking, if that can be gotten with you guys.
Okay, so I will just first of all start with, this is not SBN, this is NourishNext Innovation Challenge, although it is supported by the Sun movement itself, and also I used to lead the Sun Business Network, so I can answer your question. Definitely, SBN supports businesses with access to technical support, particularly around things like improving shelf life and possibly just linking businesses to opportunities and technical support. And the major problem would have been that in the past few months, SBN has been going through a transitional phase where we have not been engaging that much with businesses. So for now, such support has kind of reduced. So until we are done with that phase, and then we resume engagement with businesses before we can be able to give you definitely what is available in terms of support. But right now, the idea is to have existing innovations that would fit into the categories that we are looking for. And if you do make it to the stages where you receive capacity building and these other supports, then these are some of the supports that you can get from the mentors that will link you with, or possibly some of the facilitators that will take the training programs. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raida. Thank you so much. So I don't see any other question. Anyone else? One more chance before we leave. Anyone, a question, a comment, anything to say? You can even say thank you. So I see we don't have any question. If Debjani or Thomasin, you have anything else to add on before? So we have Paul. Paul, we have Paul. You're welcome, Paul.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the session. We've already done our applications like 2 weeks ago, but we're learning. We are farming in the southwest Nigeria, Ibadan. So we produce both potatoes and tomato, right? And we feel that some of the challenges in food loss actually begins from production. The nature in which you produce can actually influence food loss. Using of a lot of pesticide, herbicide, and the rest can actually shorten the lifespan of a crop and the shelf life. So we're bringing innovation on how we can do better production. So I don't know if that's something that is actually acceptable, or it has to be technological based. We have we are in a settlement of farmers. So if it is bringing in a knowledge sharing that transform the method of production, producing healthily, and so that people can consume healthily, is that also part of an innovation? Thank you.
Debjani.
Yeah, I don't know if you might want to take that, Thomasin. I could.
Yes. So yeah, I'm going to take it. I'm just going to ask you some questions, but you don't have to answer me. Does your innovation, does your idea, does it improve production of fruits and vegetables? Right now, if it does, and it is already something that has gone through some testing, and you have evidence to support that this innovation works to improve that value chain in terms of the different categories that I have listed earlier, the processing, or making it more affordable, or making it more available. If that idea fits into that category or that requirement, then please go ahead and submit. It will be left for our panel and technical team to do all the in-depth assessment and judge the final applications. But definitely, if it fits into the categories which I've listed, please do well to submit.
Thank you. We have African Farmer again. Come up.
Yes, thank you. I just want to say thank you to GAIN and all the partners for what you do over the years. You initiate conversations that the nations generally don't start, but we see a lot of traction even after the event that you initiate. So I already see a big transformation happening even after this, because this narrow niche that you've picked is a well-needed value chain that we've not explored, but it will be explored because you always initiate, progress. Thank you so much on behalf of players in the sector.
Thank you. Thank you. Leona.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for this section. Actually, I just want to ask if, because I have like something in mind that we realize that in Nigeria, the production of fruit and vegetables, most times there are lots of losses before these items get to consumers, which is maybe due to rotting of the fruits, the vegetables, and all. So I want to ask if about the challenge though, if it's possible for one to go into like creating something that will reduce post-harvest losses, which is a major challenge across Nigeria for the fruit and vegetable value chain. And this innovation I'm talking about is like it's going to help to um, help in the humidity, the temperature, and all. It's just like a sensor which will be used to check the vegetables and the fruits before it gets to the consumer in order to reduce losses. Because we've discovered that there are many losses in the production of fruit and vegetables before they get to their consumers. And this also is another problem because due to poor handling, harvesting, and all of that. But creating this crate with a sensor can also help. So I don't know if it's going to be a good innovation which can also be part of this challenge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leonard James. And definitely, we are looking at solving the major problems around fruits and vegetables, one of which is the reduction of waste and post-harvest losses. And ideas that are welcomed are the ones that we've mentioned earlier, but majorly, what is important to note is the stage where this innovation is at. So, is it something that you've already launched, like you started, and is already probably in the market? You have customers, you have clients who have used it. If it is yes to that question, then definitely please do well to submit your application. But if it is at this time that you are about thinking about this idea, and then maybe you think you'll be able to launch it between now and the 8th of September, and then possibly launch to the market, have clients, have all of the evidence you need to support the application. If you are able to do it between now and when the deadline is, why not? Please go ahead and shoot your application to us. But if it is not yet there and you're just thinking about it, then I doubt you'll be able to meet up at this time, even though maybe there will be opportunities in the future. But we are really looking at some MVP, like something that is somewhere close to the market.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Leona. So I guess thank you
Thank you
everyone
too.
for attending. Sorry, Leona, come up.
And she's saying thank you.
Oh, thank you. Now back to Tommy Sin. Any final words to the Nigeria participants, Nigeria innovators, and everyone who has attended?
Yeah, I mean, thank you very much all for joining. Thank you all for your questions. Thank you all for your attention. Up to this point, we have taken 7 minutes extra, so please, we don't want to take any more. But if you have submitted, please just wait for more information as to the status of your application. If you're thinking of submitting, kindly do well to submit before the 8th of September. And yeah, we'll be sharing more information on the links that my colleagues have all posted. If you need more information, please go to Nutrition Connect and you'll be able to see more information. Also, my LinkedIn account is also open. You can check in my DM. Tomisi Odumbaku is my name. Please do well to send messages and I respond very quickly. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Debjani, anything?
No, I'm just excited. I'm also relieved as we inch closer to the, each day means a lot in the success of this innovation challenge. So thank you to all of you for doing your part in making this a success.
Thank you. So thank you, everyone. We appreciate you putting your time aside to attend this session. It was worth it. So go work on every kind of information that we have provided to you. Any question, you can email us. You can find us on social medias, LinkedIn, Facebook, anywhere of your choice. So yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.